Hello everyone, and welcome to Understanding Archeion Analytics. This recording is based on an online workshop offered by the previous Archeion coordinator, Kelly Babcock, on December 16, 2025. A little bit about me. Bonjour, hello, my name is Connor White. My pronouns are he, him, il, lui. I am the new Archeion coordinator as of January 2026, and I also work as a full-time digital archivist at the Centre de Recherche sur les Francophonies Canadiennes at the University of Ottawa. I am based in Ottawa, and I would like to acknowledge that for thousands of years this land has been the traditional land of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation. I am grateful to have the opportunity to live and work on this land. A reminder that this session does not discuss how to add descriptions to Archeion or any Atom-specific training. For training materials related to using Archeion or adding descriptions to Archeion, please consult the official Archeion Getting Started documentation or the other training videos available on YouTube. All links discussed today will be available in the video description. Today we'll be going over the three types of usage and assessment statistics which are available to you through Archeion. First, Atom page view statistics, which were designed for Archeion specifically. Please note that these are anticipated to be retired by our hosting company, Artifactual Systems, and will no longer be available when Archeion upgrades to Atom version 2.10. Next, we'll be talking about Atom description updates. These can be exported for you by the Archeion coordinator. And finally, the point of our workshop today, Archeion Google Analytics, which include both Archeion-wide Google Analytics and individual institutional reports. Before I cover Google Analytics, I wanted to mention that the page view statistic module was specifically developed for Archeion by Artifactual Systems. When you're logged in and you go to your institutional profile page, you can scroll down to see the Reports tab on the right-hand side. You can click Page Views. If you're not able to see this, please check to make sure that you are logged into Archeion. The Page Views module stores data in the Archeion Access Log table. If you're filtering by a significant set of data, like a big date range, it's possible that this Page View tool can time out in Archeion. If this occurs, you can email the Archeion coordinator with the dates you are trying to search. These stats will count each page view of a given description. So not a total number of views of pages for your institution, but the views of a given description. It also will not include views for authority records. Please note, it also counts all page views of a description, not each user. So if a user accesses one description multiple times, say 10 times, that will count as 10 views for that description. This means that the Archeion page views will always be significantly higher than stats in Google Analytics. The Atom's Description Updates tool, which is the second tool, is part of the Atom public release. So Artifactual Systems maintains this for all Atom institutions, not just Archeion. This can be helpful if you are looking for statistics on the number of updates your institution has made in Archeion. The Atom documentation has more information, but it can show you how many updates for archival descriptions, authority records, terms, and any updates to archival institutional profile pages have been made during a given time period. You can also filter by creation, revision, and both. And you can also look at publication status, published, draft, and all. This data is only accessible to the Archeion coordinator, so you won't be able to access this page from your user interface. If you'd like to have a spreadsheet report of this data for your institution, simply email the Archeion coordinator. The description updates data can be sent to you upon request monthly, quarterly, or annually. Finally, Archeion usage is also tracked via Google Analytics. Because of permissions management, only the Archeion coordinator has admin-level access to the AAO Archeion Google Analytics, but your institution can request view access to institution-level statistics reports to make private copies and modify any statistics parameters. Google Analytics, GA, is a separate tool from Archeion. It is a tool provided for free by Google that collects data from websites and apps to create reports that provide interpretable insights into how people, and increasingly bots, interact with a website. Google Analytics is one of the most popular web analytics tools used for archival discovery websites like Archeion. For Archeion, the Google Analytics account is managed by the Archeion coordinator. This means that AO member institutions do not need to have any knowledge of how Google Analytics works, do not need to alter settings in Google Analytics, or set up anything themselves. Please note that Google Analytics data is meant for internal institutional service assessments only, not for publication. Consider your institutional privacy policies and research ethics prior to planning to publish any Archeion Google Analytics data or the data in your repository's report. In some cases, it may be necessary to consult with the Archeion coordinator if you would like to publicly publish your Archeion Google Analytics data. As users engage with Archeion or any institutional archives website that has Google Analytics set up, their actions are measured by Google Analytics as events. For example, the first time a user visits the Archeion website, Google Analytics logs this action as a first visit event. You can view any Google Analytics documentation to see all events that can be collected by Google. Events also contain the following data: event parameters, which is data that adds context to the event performed by the user on the website, such as how long a user spent on a page. User properties. These are predefined attributes collected about users visiting the web page, such as a geographic location. All of this event's data is compiled into reports within GA4, and the data in these reports will be represented as either a dimension or a metric. A dimension is usually a text value, such as platform or device category as shown here. Dimensions answer the question who, what, or where. For example, what device is most commonly used when accessing an institutional profile page in Archeion? A metric, on the other hand, is always a number, such as event count. Metrics answer the question, how many? For example, how many page views did my institutional profile page get yesterday? In general, it can be helpful to remember users are people who visit your website. Sessions are a group of user interaction that take place on a website over a given time frame and track the sequence of events performed by a user. Engaged sessions are sessions where a user spent longer than 10 seconds on the website or had 2 or more screen or page views. Events are a number of specific interactions or occurrences on the website, such as a page view or scroll, that occur across sessions and performed by any user. One user can have multiple sessions, and within each session they can perform a number of event interactions. All of these are captured and quantified by Google Analytics. Google Analytics is a corporate tool. It is constantly changing, and using it means coming to terms with how it is modified by Google as a corporation. For example, the Universal Analytics version was retired in 2024, and we now use a version called GA4, Google Analytics 4. In advance of this change, in the summer of 2022, former Archeion coordinator Jasmine Aldrich moved Archeion to Google Analytics 4 prior to the end of life for Universal Analytics. A pilot was conducted throughout 2022 to provide direct access to Google Analytics for institutions. This resulted in the creation of your institutional Explore reports that we will talk about in a moment. In 2023, Kelly also began to share Archeion Google Analytics usage through Google Looker Studio reports, as you can see them here on the screen. I want to pause for a moment to compare the July 2023 report on the left, which captured over 7,000 users tracked for that month, to the November 2025 report here on the right, which has over 3 million users tracked. Obviously, we did not increase Archeion users by 3 million. That would be wonderful, but that is not the case. Unfortunately, these are mostly bots. We'll talk more about bots and these metrics in a moment, but I wanted to point out that these reports can include various different types of statistics gathered. For example, on this page, you can see it gathers statistics about monthly users, including total users, new users, and views. It can also track locations, where geographically are Archeion pages being accessed from. It can also look at the average session duration. Here you can see they're very short for November 2025 due to bot activity, but back to the July one, you can see that the average session duration for users is 3 minutes. You can also see referrals here on the bottom right, which show which web pages users are using to reach Archeion pages. So you can see, for example, Direct, Google, Bing, etc. And you can also see in the middle here what kind of devices users are using to view your pages, such as mobile, tablet, or desktop. On the second page, you can also see popular landing pages for users. So the first page is visited by users when accessing Archeion, as well as search terms. Search terms have been removed recently due to reviewing this data for personal information. As of January 2025, institutions can request an institutional Google Analytics Explore report, as you can see on the page here. As Archeion services transition away from Archeion page view statistics modules before we upgrade to Atom 2.10, this type of Explore report can show the information that was originally shown in those page view statistics. Your institution will have a report if you have descriptions data in Archeion, and all institutions should have also already received their access to the report, but if you didn't, you can send me an email. You can also find training documentation for Archeion Google Analytics in the video description. Your institutional reports will show you data relating to page views, user interactions, and sessions. You can also view which countries your users are coming from, as well as which devices they are using to interact with your descriptions. On the left here, you can filter a given time period for your reporting, and you can also use the tabs to view different statistic metrics that were captured by Google Analytics. If you wish to have access to your institutional reports, simply send me an email. You can also request that statistics be sent to you as PDF or Excel documents on a yearly or quarterly basis. If you want to make any modifications to your Google Analytics page to capture different types of statistics, you can. You won't have admin access to the report itself, but you will have viewer access, so you'll be able to make your own personal copy and then modify that copy as you see fit. So why? Why would you want to begin to track and make use of web analytics data in your institution? Having analytics data can help provide credible and data-based talking points when an administrator or funder or end user comes to you with questions that need data to answer. It's possible that we are already hearing questions about why an organization should invest in an archival discovery system when users are more often seeking out answers from tools like ChatGPT. By compiling web analytics data, we can better provide demonstrated real-life search examples of user information to counter any misleading or false assumptions about what AI can provide compared to archival discovery tools or consultations with a human archivist. These statistics can also be useful when seeking out funding or justifying existing funding. Google Analytics data isn't going to solve everyone's budget or resource limitations, but it can definitely help in providing those concrete numbers. Thank you very much for listening to this video. If you have any questions about Google Analytics or Archeion as a whole, please feel free to contact me at archeion@aaoarchivist.ca. Any links that I mentioned or any training documentation that I mentioned throughout this presentation is available in the description of this video. Thank you again, and have a good one.